Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander Cocking.
He's Captain Foley.
I am. And today we're going to be talking about Prodigy, Episode 1, Lost and Found. Not necessarily the episode, but one of the characters, the Tellarite. Don't argue with me. I know you say, I don't want to talk about him, I want to talk about somebody else. No. We're talking about the Tellarite today.
I've read the episode title. I can't argue. It's up there in black and white. I've been overruled by YouTube.
Okay, well, we're talking about him today. His name is Jankom Pog, and he is a Tellarite engineer with a transformable hand, which is really cool, actually.
Mm-hmm. And just like Samuel L. Jackson, you've got to say his entire name. He often said, Jankom Pog is this. So some people are Cher, some people are Samuel L. Jackson. You have to say all their full name or their last name only.
Really like him, actually. More than I thought I would. Very fun guy. A little bit argumentative, and I love how he makes a point that his arguments open up different avenues of thinking, which help with decision making, because that's going to come in important later, obviously. But the fact that he's like, you can't get rid of me now, because at first it seems like he didn't want to help them, and then all of a sudden he did, and the whole argument of, well, what's the plan that he's thinking? That's an awful plan, says Rock Talk, and he's like, no, that's a great plan. And he just goes to do it. Very impulsive. So I really like the character. I think it's going to be fun. He's very much like a dwarven character for like fantasy games.
Yeah,
he's kind of got that vibe to me. So
no, that's actually great. I mean, he's also shorter than I thought. He's actually a really, really short Tellarite. Tellarite. No, he was good. He was very much the engineer trope for the second half, when it was more about just how they escape. Then those lines could have been given to any engineer character, give or take. I'm very happy he had that big argument scene, because that was like full character. Although the fact they tricked him, because you can argue and you can trick, and they tricked him into saying yes, so he's not the smartest guy, which is fine, but definitely was clearly he's a lovable dummy who's good at fixing things, which works, and that fits fine for a Tellarite. And I thought the voice actors didn't push it as far as he could have, because that voice actor is known for playing extremely off-the-wall, loud, radical roles. And I'm very thankful he, for ironically, toned it down for Tellarite. Much more in balance, and that was good. He wasn't too obnoxious yet so far. But yeah, he was fine. It was fine. It was not enough setup, obviously. He was just dropped on our laps and then re-dropped on our laps. But once you got past the first two characters, you could tell they weren't really trying to give them development in this episode. The first two got 80% between them. He got 10%, and the other two, or the other three got, or I guess, and the TOS alien. But so, yeah, for what he got, you did good. But I do think the hard balance will be making him a real character versus just the mechanic allegory, because that's all he is at the moment.
I do love his confidence. Like I said, he jumped on that whole plan idea, and he's also like, you've seen one starship, you've seen them all. He's unimpressed with the way the ship looked. He didn't care, and it's like, that's not really the case.
Which actually puts another question. He's obviously older, but not much older. But if he's seen many ships and he was stolen from somewhere, because he hasn't seen ships on this planet, because they don't have ships. They have cars, basically, hover cars. So he obviously equipment, which is not spaceships. I was expecting the opposite. I was going to say, oh, you see one, that's a big hover car. It's a spaceship. What? So that actually changes the context entirely. It might have been there for sort of 7 years. Before that, he might have worked on his dad's spaceport. Maybe there's a Tellarite space planet, a few light years away. So that adds extra context to that. But I like the line. But yeah, it adds a bit more like, okay. Because also the where the main character found him, he was in the deep core. So he wasn't anyone important, because he was in the dangerous area fixing a random thing. Like, he was just some guy. He wasn't chief engineer. He wasn't anything. He was just a guy. So it was interesting. It was definitely underdone a bit. It was like pasta that's just undercooked a bit. It's like, okay, it's still edible, still tasty, but undercooked.
It's al dente. He's al dente.
He's al dente. There you go. And don't argue with me, Stuart, because he is.
I do really like the addition of the transformable hand, especially for an engineer. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Sad, because he hasn't got a hand, but it's pretty useful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story there. We're going to find out about that, hopefully, but I don't think they're going to dwell on it too much for the show. But anyway, yeah, cool little feature, and really enjoyed the character. Looking forward to seeing more of him for sure. So, well, that's about all we have to say about him at this time. It's only one episode, so by all means, comment down below what you thought of the character. If you noticed anything we didn't, let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts all the time. Hit that like button, join the channel, do all that cool stuff. And if you can join us for lives, please do.
Speaking of those lives, support us if you can directly via the Super Chats. That's a really great way. Even for $2, you can say what you think and create a whole conversation with us live while we talk about cool stuff. And of course, join the channel if you can and want to, or join the Patreon, or go for the PayPal, or buy shirts, etc. with the link down below. All of it makes a difference, so thank you in advance if you can.
That's right. So until next time, guys, he's Commander Cracking.
He's Captain Foley.
See ya.
Bye, guys.